Hey, what up, everybody? Stevie Breach coming to you with the comments on the WWE rumors about the next Hall of Famer to be named for the WrestleMania weekend. Hopefully, this will be named as soon as Monday Night Raw this week for you. But the announcement is going to be none other than Donald Trump. Donald Trump is a guy that honestly I've never really thought of putting into the Hall of Fame before, but honestly, he really deserves it if you're going to put guys in there like Drew Carey, who only made one appearance, Mike Tyson, who's had one, I guess you could say one real big string of appearances that set up a whole WrestleMania. But Donald Trump, even before WrestleMania 23, there he is, the man right there on the cover. In the headlining match, the match of, what do they call this? The Battle of the Billionaires, hair versus hair. Bobby Lashley versus Umaga, with Stone Cold Steve Austin as the referee. The match, of course, ended with the head shaving of Vince McMahon, a moment that I think is replayed over and over again. But if it didn't involve Bobby Lashley, I think it would be a more historic moment that WWE puts over more. I think Bobby Lashley, with the push they gave him and him leaving due to backstage problems and him going into MMA and doing that Midnight Moonlight thing over there in TNA, showing up for a couple weeks and then leaving and taking his number one contendership with him. It just makes it sort of like WWE doesn't want to showcase this guy. But a lot can be, put on Donald Trump even before his days of being on TV. WrestleMania 4, WrestleMania 5, both held in the Trump Plaza in New Jersey, bringing WrestleMania to Atlantic City. The first and only time WrestleMania has been hosted in the same place back to back. You can pretty much put it on Donald Trump, the man who created WrestleMania Access. It did not go under that name, but basically he was the one who told Vince to basically make this a bigger event than it is. When you listen to shoot interviews, the one that sticks up the most in my mind was the Honky Tonk Man talking about WrestleMania 3, and basically all the wrestlers just treated that like it was another show, even though they packed 93,000 people into the Pontiac Silverdome. It was just, they showed up, they did their job, and then they drove to the next town, and they had a show the next night. There was no festivities or nothing like that. One of the biggest highlights for me of watching WrestleMania 4 is when they showed the festivities that they did, where people got to meet the wrestlers, this, that, and the end. But they had a fun run, and you can see Mr. Fuji running down the road. That is one of my highlights of any WrestleMania history. That is one of my favorite things that they've ever shown. But Donald Trump, the man, he deserves it. WrestleMania 4, WrestleMania 5 being the one guy that made WrestleMania into, instead of just being a one-day event, whole thing, WrestleMania Access, where the fans get to go in and meet your favorite wrestlers and interact with them, and just everything they did. It was a big deal. Of course, it helped out his business. That wrestling fans from all over the world traveling to Atlantic City, staying in his hotel, gambling in his casinos, and staying and seeing the event. WrestleMania 4, WrestleMania 5, when you watch the event, it probably doesn't look like the best place to host the thing. I can remember most is the Ultimate Warrior running up and down the stairs during his entrance, and when he's chasing, I believe, Bobby Heenan into the back. Maybe it wasn't the best place for wrestling events, but Donald Trump, just based on the WrestleMania 23, if it was nothing else, I think he deserves to go in the Hall of Fame. I mean, if there's spots for other people out there, Donald's done more. If you can remember, the one thing is they shaved Vince McMahon's head, and Donald Trump shows up on the Today Show with Vince McMahon to show off that they're buddies, talk about the success of WrestleMania. It honestly looked like they sort of crashed the Today Show, like they just showed up, hoping to be interviewed, if you've seen it on YouTube or if you watched it live. But what a good thing. I mean, he's also shown up, and I think he bought Monday Night Raw or something like that, and then he made money fall from the ceilings. He's done other appearances, but Donald Trump, a man that almost ran for president of the United States, if you really believe it, or if you think it was mostly a joke or a publicity stunt for himself and his TV show. People have said a whole bunch of things, but I can't think of a bigger celebrity on that side, like a celebrity businessman, I guess you can say. They've had guys like Schwarzenegger and Stallone and Hugh Jackman, actors and sports stars show up, but a man that's actually a businessman, that is a celebrity, show up on Monday Night Raw or anywhere in the WWE and be so heavily featured. I think it's Donald Trump, and he definitely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, especially in the big lights of New York and New Jersey and Madison Square Garden. I think he'd be a great person to put in the Hall of Fame.